Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Colin. Thank you for tuning in to Talking Ball, your place for all things Spurs. Welcome in, everyone. It is a Tuesday, a lovely Tuesday, or as I call it, second Saturday. I'm off on Tuesdays. Hope everybody is well. If you're out there watching, thank you for being here. That means a lot. And yeah, hope everything is good in your hood. We got a lot planned for today. It is a members call-in show day, guys, and those are always fun. I can't wait to see what members we have join us. And with that in mind, I have just posted the link in the members section of the YouTube page. So check it out. You will find it there. If you yourself would like to become a member, let me show you the link. Boom. /join Lamo. It has been put into the comments right now. If you would like to become a member and have your chance to come in and have your say on today's show, grab a membership, $2, and you will have access to that link as well. Good day for football, though, guys. Hope everyone's well. We've already got some people in the house, man. Our resident scout, Inna Hype, has said a lot. Inna Hype's here. We've got El Tel in the building. Says, go smash it, call. And all you great members and chatters, what a good guy. Look at that. Always giving us positive messages. Thanks, Jose. You're a good dude. And I'm telling us who to look out for today. Nuno Mendes, Portugal and PSG. That'll be in the match later, the Portugal match. There's a lot of people that Inna Hype is saying to look out for, and I can't wait to talk to him about this Georgia match. It's been a crazy one so far. We've also got Adrian Sroka here. Big up, Adrian. Says, good afternoon, Colin. And everyone else. Big up, Adrian. Glad to have you here. Good afternoon. Hope you will maybe perhaps come and join me on the show, sir. We've also got Otter in the house. If you know who Otter is, pat yourself on the back because that means you've been paying attention. But if not, everybody, this is Otter. Nice to meet you, Otter. Or nice to have you here, of course. Pranvat. Whoa, Pranvat's coming to us from Twitter. Pranvat says, yo, what's up? What's good, dog? Maybe you can come join us. Oh, yeah, and he's coming at us from YouTube as well. What a good guy. Yeah, everybody, that's Pranvat, my man. Pranvat, I hope you're well, man. I hope you're good. And I also want to go ahead and make this a little less quiet. So let's get this going. And, yeah, welcome in, everybody. Maybe go a little louder on that. Yeah, there we go. All right, so guys, we've got a lot to talk about today. There is some stuff going on in Spurs land, but it's mostly Spurs rumor land is what I want to call it. We've got an awesome edition of Keeper West Ham, kind of, that's what it is today, that I can't wait to get into. But yeah, guys, welcome as we make it through another day of the offseason as we wait for our beloved Spurs to come back. Shimtan's in the house. Holy smokes. Good afternoon, Mr. Junior Assistant Colin. Hope you're doing good, mate. Man, I'm killing it. Everything's gotten a lot easier since I bumped down to that junior assistant role. A lot less stress. We've also got Audio Artisan in the house. What's up, brother? Says afternoon, Colin in chat. Afternoon yourself, dude. Shemtan is showing who he is, who his allegiance is for today. Turkey for him all day, and I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly because of the spelling. I see the spelling. So if I am, I apologize. No disrespect meant there at all. Yeah, so the first half of that match has been freaking wild, Shemtan. I've been watching it myself. Everybody in the chat, have you been watching the Georgia-Turkey match, the Georgia-Turkey match? If so, let me know your thoughts on it. I have been watching, and it was a lot of fun. There was a near post goal scored. I love me a near post goal, so that made me happy. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that match? Before we get into Spurs stuff, let's talk, man. Let's talk. Turkey versus Georgia. We have one of Jose's favorite players getting to play, so that's always cool. He's a big fan of Kvaratskhelia, or however you want to pronounce that guy's name. That's obviously mine was incorrect, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Kvaratskhelia. Yeah. What do you guys think? Anybody been watching? Let me know, because I've been watching and it's been a fun. Yeah. Anybody can check it out. Sorry, I was in another tab there for a second, but I'm back. I am back. Just watching a little recap showing. Oh, never mind. The second half has begun, guys. Second half has begun in this match as well. As I talk to you guys, I'm sneaking a quick glance over here to watch. Turkey with the ball right at the top of Georgia's penalty box. Let's see what they can do, guys. Audio Artisan is agreeing that volley was sick. Yes, and anytime a keeper gets beat near post, it's embarrassing for the keeper, but it's really fun for me to watch. I don't know. I could watch near post goals all day. I think I might make a YouTube compilation video that's just near post goals scored. Too cool, too good, too sick. But guys, yeah. This again to all members. The link is out there, and you know where to find it. We'll get some members come in here and say, hey, I'm sure of it. Speaking of which, one just messaged me. Oh, snap, guys. Mm-hmm. Boom. Okay, great. So I'll get this sent over to where it needs to go. Boom. Link has been sent. We will soon be joined by somebody. Bonus points if you can guess who it is in the chat right now. Who is getting ready to come on the show? If you get it right, you get some bonus points. Ooh, some dancing and twisting by the Georgia attacker. Not sure who that fellow was, but looked like he was getting free something, but it didn't happen. Guys, lots of Spurs rumors today. Audio Artisan guesses Adrian. And look who the heck it is. It is Adrian. What's up, Adrian? How's it going, buddy?
I'm fine.
Me too.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Oh, doing great. Doing really good.
Waiting for the transfer window to hot up, you know? With a first out or first inner.
Absolutely. We need something.
It's 73 days to go, you know, so there's over 10 and a half weeks. Something like everybody wants bang, they expect like the first week, like 4 signings. It doesn't happen that way.
No, especially not with a major tournament happening, you know.
Yeah, 2 major tournaments. You've got the Copa America as well. So
yeah, see.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to just be patient. They'll get done, and like the players we're linked with, whether you're a Tony or whether you're a Jimenez fan, you know, either would do a job in the Ange system. I mean, if you can't score in the Ange system, you're never going to score, are you? You know what I mean?
No kidding. With the amount of balls we flash right across the face of the goal, yeah, anybody could be there and tap those in. I could do it, you know? So, yeah, exactly. Audio Artisan saying big up to you, Adrian. I asked everyone to guess who was about to come on, and he said Adrian, and he was right. So, Big up to Audio Artisan. I'm watching the Turkey-Georgia match up in the corner. Have you been paying any attention to that match, Adrian?
No, I've been getting ready because
you got a stream. You got a stream coming up.
Yeah, 8 o'clock though. It's in 2 hours. So what's it now? 10 past hour and 50. So we've got our own show going at 8 o'clock. So
yeah, man.
See how long you go with this. You know what I mean? And
exactly. Who knows? Who knows how long it's gonna go? Really quick though, this match has been awesome. It's 1-1 right now. Tied at 1, and I've been extremely happy with. It's been a fun match to watch. Lots of action, end-to-end stuff. It's almost like a basketball game. Like it's just one end, other end, one end. You know, it's constantly back and forth. So it's made for a really fun match to watch.
Yeah, I've only watched one game so far. I've only watched the England Serbia game. And
that wasn't too bad of a match. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as people made out. But then I mean, obviously, I shall watch the Denmark game Thursday, England-Denmark.
Yep, that'll be a good one. Good to see our boy Christian Eriksen. Enough Euros talk. Let's get to some Spurs stuff real quick, Adrian. So I saw a rumor today. I wanted to ask you your opinion on it. So supposedly, look how terrible this source is. But Tottenham are keen on bringing Ferran Torres back to the Premier League. Do you think he would be a good addition to our squad? First of all, I mean, like, put aside whether or not it's going to happen, because you know how that.
Well, he looked a bit lively when he was playing for Man City. The time he was there, didn't he? He did look useless. Yeah. He did look a useful player, and said useless. He did look a useful player, but I don't think so. I mean, we're in the first week of the transfer window or whatever, and if we start getting left field links now, I don't pay too much heed to them. The reason for that is you're bringing these transfer rumours up now when our recruitment team should already have about 3 or 4 players listed in every position. When they start bringing up now, I think it's low-tier media desperation, you know, like the Max Hummel one in the press. I mean, he's 35.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, thank you.
Does he come with a Zimmer frame? You know what I mean? I mean, like, he's like, I mean, like, and one, he's too slow. I mean, like,
definitely, he couldn't play the high line that we play. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Some of the mid to left field stuff you can post for fun, but you think, okay, it's very tenuous links. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Ferran Torres, is he a good player? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he is.
But I think playing in Spain suits him more. I think it suits the way that he plays.
Well, if he was brought in, if we were going striker winger and you wanted to bring him in, at least he can play across the front three.
Yeah, he does a good job in that striker role.
So he could do a job for us. Does he improve us? Well, he's young, and he's still young. What's he, 24? He's very
24.
Young.
24 he is.
So
he's also composed in front of goal. Like he doesn't panic when he receives the ball, even with defenders around him in front of goal. And that's a quality I would like to have in our team. It seems like we are awful panicky.
If we got one of, I would take him. If we were taking him as a wide player, bringing him in as a wide player on the right's competition for Decky or Brennan Johnson, because on the left I think you're looking at Son, and then you're looking at Werner behind Son at the moment, in my opinion. If you're bringing a striker, and then you've got Richarlison and the striker, the number 9's there. So I wouldn't mind him, to be honest. I mean, it only came out today. I don't think it's likely, but I wouldn't mind him.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And there's a chance that he could, I mean, like you said, he's only young, so that could, he could improve. His level could go up. We could potentially have on our hands a player that grows with us and ends up better than they are now, which is always the key, always what you want. And speaking of players that grow with a club, this also came out, and this is probably old, but it's Fabrizio Romano. I saw it today via TBR Football saying Tottenham have no intention at all to let Christian Romero leave the club.
That was also easy with this one. I mean, there never was any intention of him going anywhere. He's got 3 years left in his contract. Besides that, Real Madrid are looking for a younger defender, and they want to cheap an option. They know Romero will be in the 80 million plus bracket, and then he's not going nowhere. I mean, after this season cometh, then he's on 2 years to go. Well, that's when you have to sit down with players. Don't let them get down to 1 year. Now it's got to be
right. Either get him a new contract or get him out the door at that point.
If the boss still wants him, look, mate, you either got to sign a deal with us or we're looking to sell you with 2 years to go. All these clubs have been shot themselves in the foot letting players run down their contracts. I mean, Gallagher could do it at Chelsea, and I wouldn't blame him because he's given his all for that club. And if they really don't want him, just because of PSR, I mean, because we're still under the old rules at the moment till they ratify the new ones this month.
Right.
So
yeah, we definitely can't let players. That seems to be the trend these days. Is players run their contracts down, and then get a really nice signing on bonus. What do teams do to prevent that from happening? I don't think there's anything they can do with the.
No, I think the old 5-year contracts have changed to 6 years now, haven't they? Especially if you're bringing a young player in and then you're loaning him out because you're going to lose him for a year, So, and obviously they'll have sell-on value, and then you've got. If he's out for 2 years, well, you got 2 years to blood him into the team, and then that's 4 years. Then then you either sit down with a player again or you sell, didn't you? Yeah, Torres. Well, he can do a job. He did a job for Man City. He probably wasn't no Aguero though, was he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But I still think he'd be a good player. But yeah, but who knows?
Just complete. It's just column inches for a low media tier. And what happens with like him is like it comes from a very low tier media outlet. Then a mid-tier outlets pick it up because they can go on that because this has been reported. And then like you find some of your top tiers were Express and went with it as well. Then you're thinking like, are you that desperate for column inches,
They are though right now.
Yeah. Well, they've got the Euros though, so they shouldn't be.
That's true. Speaking of Euros, Georgia threw on goal, and the defender saves it in time. Okay, sorry about that. Thought a goal was about to happen, but you're right. They definitely shouldn't have any shortage of news. But the transfer window's open, and people, us. We all want the transfer window to start or to begin for Spurs, and every team's like that. Every fan is like that. They want their team to start making signings, so the papers need stuff to get the people excited. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. But yeah, Christian Romero's never going anywhere. I do see a lot of people though saying that if Madrid really want him, he's going to leave. No one can turn down Madrid, and I don't know if I buy that.
No.
Obviously, Real Madrid's a big team. They're one of the biggest. You'll win trophies. You'll be in contention for Champions League and the league over there in Spain. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it carries the weight that it once did. Maybe I'm completely wrong. And everyone in the chat, if I'm completely wrong, please let me know. But it's not. I don't want to say it's become a poison chalice, so to speak. But like, it's not uncommon to get booed by your own fans. It's not uncommon for the fans to not like you. It's not uncommon for. It just doesn't seem like you got to be real sure of yourself to go there. And obviously Romero is very sure of himself. He's, he has to be, but
I would be like Sergio Ramos Mark II for them, wouldn't he? But probably not as psycho as Sergio Ramos.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe though, we've never seen him. I think he's been holding it back. If he let out the psycho, maybe he would be Sergio Ramos. But you're right. They would probably love him there. But you know what I mean? It's just I'm kind of sick of hearing people say that if like Madrid wants one of our players, they're just going to go. And it's Spurs fans that say that. And I'm like, come on. But maybe they're right. Everyone's saying like, I hear a lot. If Sonny had been offered the chance to go to Madrid, he would never be at Spurs still.
Players don't break. When has a player ever broken his contract? Because they've got so many bonuses tied into their contract. They lose so much money out of it. And then you've got a deal. All right, Scott Munn is now the Chief Executive Officer and our football officer. He's the one that Levy gives the budget to. So that's it. You sell players, you can add that to that, right? Blah blah. But that's it. So now it's down to down payments. But we can put 20 mil down payments. It depends on clauses on players when you're buying them though, because like some clubs might insist on a real hefty down payment if there's a clause on a release clause in the contract. But most clubs would take 20 mil off you and bite your hand off. They would as a down payment. So, especially European clubs. So, when we buy Eze, when we go for Eze or Tony, if we get both of them, we might be forking out a bit more in down payments than we intended. But then again, it all depends how it structures the deal, because once the selling club have got their players on the books and got that contract that we're paying them X amount for the player, they can borrow against that anyway and go and buy their own players, because they know it's income coming in. It's like having order books, isn't it? You know what I mean? You've got the money on your books virtually. So banks will give you money,
Yeah, so that makes sense. I didn't know that. I didn't know you could borrow against that money. That makes total sense.
Clubs do it all the time. Clubs have done it for years, even back on TV money. Clubs have sold their souls for future payments, and when they haven't got success that season or the season after, suddenly they're in an awkward position. They've got to sell the players that they bought,
Yeah.
And that's what happens when some clubs take a punt and a gamble. But
I was going to say, because in theory, I don't know. So say we owe the team payments, but then we go bankrupt. It's never going to happen. But what if the team that owes you the money goes bankrupt and then you never get it, but you've borrowed against it? It just seems risky to me. But hey, Mr. M's in the house saying hey to us. Big up, Mr. M. Sorry, what were you saying though about that?
Well, you go against clubs. They've got the collateral. They're not some sort of left field club that's skint or whatever. So yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Still.
Although having said that, Getter, I think, have pulled out the Spurs contract. The ones who do all that.
Yeah, they have from what I've seen. Yeah,
Spurs have taken a few million hit or something, but
right. I think it's like $5 million a season, something like that. Audio Artisan is asking if there's any young MLS players that I'm aware of. There's just this one kid that's really good, but he's never. Ryan Gutierrez is his name. He plays for Chicago Fire. He's supposed to be like the next hot thing, but I don't think that he is. I don't think he's coming.
Is he still at Chelsea?
He was loaned, wasn't he? Let me see. Let me look. I'm pretty sure he. Okay, so Christian Pulisic. Yeah, he plays for. He was transferred to AC Milan. He plays for AC Milan now, and captains the U.S. national team. But yeah, he's his career has taken a bit of a weird turn. I don't think that he should have. I don't think he should have went to Chelsea what he did. But that's just me. Chelsea were a hot mess at the time, and having like 6 managers in 6 years or whatever has not done him any favors. This comment from I think that would have been a better move for the kid because he wouldn't have been expected to start and like be, the guy. But anyway, Jishnu's asking if we can bring Matthias Sule. He's a
young player at Juventus. We were interested in him and Samuel Willing Jr. as well, the wide player.
It would make sense.
Even if Paratici's doing his magic, I think he'd be working on Calafiori or maybe Bongueno at Torino was rumoured. Centre backs. I don't know how much Paratici has to do with the French league, whether he would have anything to do with trying to get Vanderson in the fullback. We are strongly.
I was just getting ready to ask. So that was one of my things. Thoughts on Vanderson? Would Spurs shell out the necessary cash? That's my only question regarding.
We can afford him. Well, I mean, he's 22. He's good.
I bet he goes for.
I'd actually prefer Gerard Torreira, the Feyenoord player.
I'm not sure I'm aware of him. Yeah, I'm going to look him up now.
Right, it's Geertrida. Geertrida.
All right, cool. I'm going to watch a little video.
And when you watch the video of him, he's like your doggy Mark II on the right. But he can play fullback, right midfield, and as a number 6.
He supposedly has also been strongly linked to Liverpool, so that's one thing we got to watch out for. But we always have kind of gone for the same players. You know what I mean? That's not a new thing.
No, because top clubs will be interested in a top player, so that just happens. Like who they go to,
Yeah, so, he's a pretty silky player, even from just like the 1 minute or so I've watched it.
He can stick his foot in and claw a ball out. Like doggy powers his way through. Yeah. He's on you. He's in your face, and you're like, He's clawing the ball away out from other defenders and all that. I think he's a terrific player.
He gets up the pitch and has really good, tight, close control, it looks like.
Vanderson's the same. He can go up the pitch like a winger.
Oh, yeah, they would both make an excellent inverted fullback role that we look for. They both have the close control to do it, from what I can see here.
But Vanderson seems to be one that they're strongly linked with. So the recruitment team would have done their homework. So if that's what they want, there'll be a reason for it. And Ange would have probably looked at both players as well, because he will look at them when the recruitment team says, like,
definitely.
They'll go through the videos and go, like, if there's a particular aspect that, even if I think I'd prefer Gertrude, who am I though anyway, over Vanderson, if Ange looks at both and he picks Vanderson, well, if we can get him, then it'll be because he sees something in him, more than he does in the other player.
Yeah, exactly. Like how we all thought that Raya needed to come, and that what missing out on Raya was like this big, huge deal.
They're talking like maximum 30 mil or something. Well, I don't care if it's euros, right? He's 22. I mean, we can put a down payment on and get him.
I bet it's pushing 40. I bet the final price is close to 40. But I'm also talking euros. So
that'd be about 34 mil, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds math isn't my best subject, but so Guler just scored a sick goal, and that is true. Turkey now are leading, me neither, but the goal was insane. It was a curling shot from outside the box, way outside the box, and it went in the keeper's right in the top corner. It was beautiful. So thank you, Audio Artisan, for letting us know I was able to turn it on in time to see the replay. And then Jose says, sub to Jose, don't be mean. And there is his link, everybody.
Come on, guys. Sub to Jose. Get him up to that 500 mark.
We're going for the 500
out there. They haven't. I don't think. I'll be honest, guys. They haven't been that helpful, because he should for what he does. He should be over that 500 mark.
100%.
I've advertised him in my group, but unless you actually go around people's houses, break the door down and drag them out of bed. It's hard work getting people just to sub. I mean, it takes a little time and effort, guys. So please sub to him, go over there and sub to him.
And you're always watching the show, guys. So if you're there, might as well be subbed. We also got Nick De La Torre saying, "Hola from Texas. What is up, Nick? Hola, right back at you, senor. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And I hope that you are not muy mal. I hope you are bien today. Hope everything is good." Jishnu says that Austria's Seawald was excellent against France yesterday. I do feel he has a better ceiling than Onana or Palhinha because of his ball playing ability to play for a front foot side. Do you know who that guy is?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Me neither, but I'm gonna have to look him up. So that's actually an interesting point. I was talking today to Josh. I was on Josh's channel, Spurs Live. If you guys aren't already, make sure you subscribe to Spurs Live as well. But I was on Spurs Live earlier. We were talking about, he was asking me what number 6 that I thought we should get. And I parroted the same thing that everyone says. Well, the boss doesn't really play with a 6. He goes for the 2 number 8s that can kind of share the defensive role or whatever. And then he got me thinking, though, that we just don't have anybody in the squad right now that can play that role. And if we did, that maybe we would, and it would give the other players more freedom to move up. But I pointed out, if we were to get a number 6, you can't anymore. A player like Wanyama is not going to work. How like in the past, Destroyers have not had hardly any ball playing ability. It's just like break up play, short pass to somebody. I feel like now they're going to have to do more. They're going to have to contribute to the build-up. They're going to have to help recycle the ball.
I understand the interest in Gallagher, who's a good footballer. And if you're in a tight hole, he's the sort of player you'd want to bring on, give that energy, like he did for England against Serbia. He had an effect when he came on. People are saying, bring on Eze, do this. I went, no. Things aren't going too well. I've said, I bet he brings on Gallagher. And he did, to help steady the ship. And look, and if Ange wants him, he does it. He's a good footballer. He gets him in. And we ain't heard much about other sort of box-to-box number 8s that can do a bit of everything. I mean, Edison was linked earlier before the window opened. This was Fratesi at Juve, I think. And But if he's insistent and he can't get Gallagher, and we all think, if it isn't Gallagher, go for Gibbs White. It's a totally different player, right? Then another option would be Onana at Everton. He's only 22, I think.
Yeah, and I've seen that name a lot.
He's got the. I mean, I haven't seen enough of him. He's got a lot of good reports for his age. Obviously, with a 20-year-old, you get consistency problems at times, you know. So everyone's raving about him, like they were raving about that João Gomez at Wolves. The one at Wolves, João. Help me out in the chat. João, who at Wolves? Busy midfielder.
I remember they used to have João Moutinho, but that was a while ago.
No, it might be João Jimenez even, or.
Yeah, it is. That's who it is.
It is João Jimenez, is it? Yeah.
You're correct.
And they only got him recently, and his stock rose quite high. So, I'm the midfield. I mean, apart from Eze, that would be the marquee signing. I wouldn't class Tony as a marquee signing. I'm close.
Really, you wouldn't?
No, I class him as a close to marquee signing. Perhaps I'm being harsh because I'm used to Harry Kane.
It might be that because he is a big deal, man. He's a good player.
Well, Jimenez got something like 49 goals in 89 games or something like that. Ridiculous in Holland.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, we had the top scorer in Holland once. Name was Vincent Janssen, and you know how that went.
Yeah.
Real quick, Nick is saying, I hope Ange watched Dragic play yesterday. Me too. I'm sure he did. What are we talking about, Hope? You know we did, Nick. He was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal yesterday, Adrian.
Yeah, we want another centre-back and we want a left-footed one as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I like that. I like sort of the idea of having the ability to have two center-back pairings that you could use. Sounds really nice. You know what I mean? Just depending on the situation.
48 games minimum. Let's say we don't progress in any of the cups. So
exactly.
For everyone to have 24 games. So barring injuries and suspension. So
the fixture list came out today, which I'm sure that you saw. Mm-hmm. Which one has you most excited as a season ticket holder? Which one are you most excited?
Well, you've got the September the 14th Arsenal at home. Makes a change for us to get Arsenal at home in the fixture list. It's been a while, and that's why I always thought the fixture list was like bent. That's Saturday. I don't see that game being played on Saturday the 14th of September. I see it being played Monday the 16th of September. Now it's come out.
Oh, really?
I think they'll move that fixture. So people now, and if they are, they need to inform the fans now, especially those who might want to suddenly just start making travel plans, you know?
Absolutely. Such as myself. I always try to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. I just think if that's every other game on a Saturday, Sky or Amazon, whoever's got that game, where are you going to want it? You're going to want it on a Monday. You know?
And won't we have a Thursday game because of Europa League probably? And so it would almost definitely get pushed to at least Sunday.
We'll have lots of Thursday games and we'll have lots of Sunday games while we're in it because we've got 8 games in the Europa League. So there'll be eight Thursdays or Sundays. Well, 8 Thursdays, right? You know, that. So, which is good in one way because it stops Sky Sports and throwing a game in on a Friday for us. Because you get the I don't like them. I don't know why I don't like them Friday night games. I just don't like them, you know. So
superstition, maybe, huh? Yeah.
The others. Yeah, it's a mix and a fairly even spread, actually.
I like the look of May. I like that May. We've got all the big guys out of the way. You know what I mean? That's a nice little cruise at the end of the season. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty even spread of what we would consider to be hard games going on previous teams' forms in previous seasons. But you always get one or two surprise teams that come and do a lot better than you expect, you know.
True that. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've got Leicester away. I would say 3 points there, but they'll be riding the promotion bounce as well. We go up against Winks.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. He said oh my gosh, he actually was interviewed. And not really an interview, but a question was asked to him which game he would like to have first of the season. And he said Tottenham. He got his wish. That's always scary when a former player says they want to come back and play against a parent club. It's like, oh, no, game of your life coming up. But, yeah,
There's no mid-season break this season either. There's no mid-season break. I think it's because of this Euros.
I'm sure. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good
point.
I
don't know what happens now. I don't know about international break. So after Europe, England won't be sitting still. There's usually that silly in between Copa Americas and World Cups and European competitions. There's usually that Nations League rubbish, isn't there?
Yeah. What the hell is the point of that even? Just to get more games in? I feel like.
I think it was trying to generate a bit more money in these internationals, whereas before teams would play.
There was no meaning in them, and so now it's a tournament, and so people
I think these international sides on average play about 6 games during this season. They're either qualifying round games or friendlies.
Right.
I mean, but they've tried to make it more competitive in FIFA and UEFA, this Nations League.
I get it, and I mean I get that. It does make sense, but it's silly. It seems silly to me to risk a player. They're already playing in a congested league, a congested season as it is, and then you add some more games in there just for some more cash. I think that's a little. I don't know why I'm not surprised. I shouldn't be surprised, but anyway, yeah. It's next season's looking like it's going to be a good one. Oh, so you said something earlier. You told me that you didn't think Toney was a marquee signing. Is that just because of the blip that is last season?
Well, he's a good player, but it's like strikers in this league. I mean, you've got Haaland, and then you got Son. I mean, players. You got Salah. I mean, you don't put Toney in that league, do you?
If it was Toney from 2 seasons ago, not last season, but the season before, he was 3rd highest goal scorer in the league, right behind Kane. And it was only with 20 goals, but that's playing with Brentford. I don't know. I think he's really going to cook with us, and I've wanted him ever since he came to us, or not ever since he came to us, ever since he came into the Premier League, ever since I first saw him, and then I actually went back and watched some of him in the Championship, which, speaking of just being too good for a league, he was way too good for the Championship. But, I think it'd be a marquee signing. I'm interested to see what everybody in the chat has to say. If we got Toney, Ivan Toney, would you consider that a marquee signing?
I mean,
and also, 50 mil.
If Richarlison's got over his psychological problems, his injury problems, he might have his best season ever with us. I mean, we can but hope. I mean, we want our players to do well.
Of course. I'd like 2 strikers to play well, though.
Yeah, and then if Jimenez came in instead of Toney, I mean,
I get it.
I was posting stuff that was rumours in my group and that, but, I mean, you're getting reports like Michael Bridges is saying nothing's been agreed with the player, and other reports are saying he's agreed terms. Well, if there's anything in it, what is in it is in the same agency with some of our players, CAA, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think Jimenez might be in that same agency as well. So you're going to get linked with players like that. So, and look, there will have been talk, especially by this time in the transfer window. There will have been talk. It's like we're waiting on the Eze thing, but when they said that it was widely reported that Johan Lang was talking to Palace, well, if you're talking to the club, then you've already agreed with the player, because otherwise
you wouldn't waste your time. Yeah, you wouldn't waste your time if the player wasn't keen.
I'm looking at, we're not at that stage yet with any other deals, although we're getting more traction on a lot of the same names now. So
yeah. I like when I see multiple publications have the same rumors and not be just linking back to each other. It's nice when you see it come from multiple journalists. You were saying Vanderson? Vanderson's one that you've been seeing?
Yeah, there's been more reports on him every day now. So, yeah. I understand that, because it looks like there's been strong links with Emerson with Milan. So,
talk about a good transfer for him. That's amazing. And remember, it makes me think of Danny Rose saying, "Hey, have you heard from Milan?" But anyway, it is looking like he's going.
And once that's agreed, you can see us moving on Vanderson fast, even if we take a hit on Emerson Royal. But you've got wages off the book as well, and you're getting Van der Sar in or trying to get Van der Sar from Monaco, and they'll sell. And like, we're in such a strong position. Man United, I reckon their budget's about 50 mil. I think it was on the radio today. Other managers, they probably wanted to sack Ten Hag, but other managers didn't want the job because they got no transfer budget.
I saw they offered the job to De Zerbi, which is insane. And that would have been actually, I think, a good appointment. But anyway, it's too risky for United. I get that. But if their transfer budget's that low, who would want to go? That team needs a lot of work. And I don't think he could do it with 40, 50 million. I just don't.
And he spent money there, hasn't he? I don't know. He spent a fair bit there, Ten Hag. He's a good manager, but all right, you're not going to turn down Man United when it comes down. You know, they're one of the 3 or 4 biggest clubs in the world. And you took the job on, but squad, defensively and all that, and they brought in some older players. If it's sort of come be fashionable to bring in old defenders, I mean, Chelsea with Thiago, didn't they? Man United have done it with what's his name?
Cambiasso?
Yeah, Cambiasso. And then like other defenders, and even towards the end of the season, I think the centre back who's injured for England, Harry Maguire, he started winning his place back, in that side. And I don't think Den Hag knows what his best defence is.
Oh, absolutely not.
Obviously, Luke Shaw plays if he's fit, but
Luke Shaw's had an interesting career. But yeah, I totally agree. You can't turn down United, but I used the word poison chalice earlier. I think taking that job is kind of a poison chalice. I don't think that almost anybody, it's going to take a real special person to succeed in that role. And they're going to have to take a gamble, I think. I think that De Zerbi would have been a great manager for them.
He's won 2 trophies. If
that's so true. Yes. Thank you.
We won one. We'd be building a statue to a manager. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. How shit can he be if he's won 2 trophies? And people talk about, he also got their lowest league finish ever. But people don't remember that. People don't remember what league place you finished in the year you won a trophy. All you're going to think about is the year that what trophy you won that year. So yeah, that's a good point. Eltel is telling me I need a shave. Look at that. I do though. Sorry about that.
He said, "Yeah, one thing we do know, we're going to be watching some superb football next year from this team." And when you bring one player in, I mean, we all play Football Manager, and I have to do my predictions and I do previews and post when I've got time. I do it right. I'll write up previews, post-match views, stuff like that. And you pick a team. Now you bring one player in. Say you bring in Tony, right? Or you bring in a midfielder. Suddenly, that increases so many options, but it gets harder to predict what team Ange's going to play, especially as he says he picks a team to win a game. Yeah. You bring Eze in, Now he can play left midfield, wide left, sort of left wingish, right? I mean, does that affect Son on the left? Does it? I mean, Werner would then stay on the bench, in my opinion. But that gives you options, doesn't it? All right, at the back it's a bit different. If it's Van der Sar, all right, it's him or Porro, that's fair enough. But and then it's like game time. In midfield, we've got our 4 main midfielders. Højbjerg will go, so it'll be the 4 main ones plus Skip, won't it? But then Lucas Bergvall's coming in, so that he will get time. I hope we see him in these friendlies. We've got 6 friendlies coming up, so I hope we want to see Donnelly, Bergvall, perhaps Mikey Moore, who's 17.
Oh yeah. Manager's going to want to see Bergvall for sure. He'll want to see what he can do.
And
he might burst onto the scene Dele-esque fashion, and you know what I mean.
And Dane Scarlett, because I think Dane Scarlett could make it. He could make it.
Yeah, I like how much he's bulked up. He's a big guy.
He's a good striker. He's quick. No, he's good.
On the striker options, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Scarlett, or would you rather have the Irish kid? What's his name? Why can't I think right now?
Donnelly.
The one that's the kid that's at playing in Holland right now. What's his name?
Parrott.
Parrott, yeah. So would you rather have Troy Parrott as our, I don't want to say academy striker, but you know what I mean, young striker, or would you rather have Dane?
I want to see both of them in the pre-season games.
Good point.
Parrott got 17 goals out there. All right, it's the Dutch league. Mind you, it was in a poor side, Excelsior, who got relegated anyway. He got 2 hat-tricks, I think, in his last couple of games.
Yeah, that'll definitely pad the stats a bit, for sure.
But he's 22 now, and he's academy trained, as well as being academy homegrown. And academy trained is a player who's done 3 years in the academy before his 21st birthday. And we have to have 4 of those for Europe. Out of the 8 academy homegrown, we have to have 4 of those. And we've only got 4 to my knowledge, because I don't know what the situation with Pape Sarr is, because he did most of his time away in France, but he was still registered with us, right? So I don't know if he's the 5th or not. It's a moot point. But we've got Brandon Austin and Alfie Whiteman, 2 goalkeepers, and you've got Skip and Parrott. So if fans don't like Skip and Parrott, we know, all players are
Skip's not everybody's cup of tea, yeah.
Can't fault his effort when he comes on. He does try his best, the kid. I mean, he does try hard. Right? He always tries to give 100% anyway. So they're not going anywhere. But those 4 will ensure that as the season goes on, see, when Torres Hall's come in and George Abbott have come in the under-21s, they're 18. We're 18. So, but those 4 will evolve into a different 4 over seasons. And therefore, you will have a pathway. And Andy Scolding's job now is loans and pathways. That's his new title, loans and pathways. So his job will be to get loans for academy players that Wayne Burnett turns and said, look, this kid needs to be tested at a higher level, whether it's in the championship or the league below the championship, right? And they go out. And the ones they like, the ones they like, because they're the ones that go out on loan. The ones they think they're not ready or too young. And you can't send a player out like Mikey Moore. He's not 18 yet. You can't send them out before they're 18. Right? But Abbott, they look good, them under 21s. But how many of them will come through and play for Spurs? I don't know. I'm willing to bet most of them will have good careers. They will. They're the best crop I've ever seen, anyway. But that doesn't mean nothing unless they progress, So Tyra Hall looks like a Moussa Dembele Mark II.
Don't get me excited. You know I love Dembele.
Needs to beef up a bit. Some of these players need, like at that age, you can get brushed aside. It's so fast, the Premier League. It's a big step up. And the players get swept.
There's no time on the ball. Exactly, yeah.
Well, you need to bring them on when you're 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go or something like that, or 10 minutes to go. Give them a taster. You don't want them to come on and have their confidence destroyed, do you? So
No, you don't. You really don't. But it's hard to say. I'm glad I don't have to pick who's ready and when they're ready, just because it seems like something you could very easily mess up. And Tottenham don't seem like they've been doing a great job at integrating the youth lately. So hopefully that changes.
They've been useless. I mean, I've always said there should be some sort of incentive. I mean, you take Dane Scarlett went to Ipswich last year. He didn't get any time. Well, to me, that's scandalous. I mean, there's got to be an incentive when you send these players. Now that Scolding's in charge of pathways and loans, they've got to do some sort of deal with these clubs, Well, if you play the player, we'll pay his wages. You play him half a game, we'll play. Do something. Think of something. I mean, I don't know if they do that already. I don't know what they do. I don't know what these loan deals consist of, whether it means the loan club should pay the players' wages. I mean, it should be part of the deal. I mean, if they want, it's not like they're on 80 grand a week or something, but, or if they're on $5 a week or whatever it is they're on, I haven't got a clue what they're on. But
pay half of it.
Then the other club should pay that wage or half of it or a good percentage of it,
Yeah.
But you've got to incentivise the loan club. Look, you want the player, right? We want him played game time, So we want to know what percentage of games you're going to play in,
That would be something that would be nice to know more about. It's like the ins and outs of a loan deal. When a player gets loaned, it would be cool if they made that public.
We know the more expensive loans. You bring in a player from a top league or
a Chelsea,
Real Madrid or Barcelona. We've done it before, and we split the wages with them or something like that because they're on ridiculous amounts,
Yeah,
and we're not going to be paying players 350 grand a week. And to me, I just think for a player who's on that money, he's obviously got a very good player. But I just think there are also very good players out there that you ain't got to pay the earth for, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It depends. Absolutely. It depends on who Ange wants.
For sure. For sure. But I hope that he does a better job, like we were saying, of getting the youth integrated, bringing people in when they're ready. And there's players that look like they're ready. So I hope that, like you were saying, I hope that Donnelly gets some time. Scarlett needs to be getting some time at the end of matches. I hate to say this is probably controversial, but I think Scarlett is a better player than Veliz from what I've seen. And I'd much rather have Scarlett. But hey, real quick, I'm going to jump away from this for a second. I'm going to go back to signings. Let's say that we just time travel and it's the end of the transfer window, okay? And we get these players in.
Yeah, I would be happy. I actually think Eze is very close. That's just the fees got to be agreed in the structure on the fees. And I actually think that Toney and Gallagher. I actually think if my next favourite player to get in would actually be Vanderson before Toney or Gallagher. I would have thought, because Emerson's going, and the Toney and Gallagher, with all the reports every other day, it's a Gallagher story. You don't want to go to Villa, and he's thinking of running down his contract, blah, blah, blah. Well, he doesn't even seem interested in coming to Spurs, does he?
That's true.
I mean, a bit of it. I mean, if you're not interested, well, unless Ange can change someone's mentality, Toney. Well, if Ange is happy, he can deal with him. If the player's not carrying that baggage, the gambling baggage or whatever, or if all the rumours about maybe he's got an attitude problem, whatever. I mean, this is just paper talk. I actually think Eze and Vanderson look to be the favourites. I don't see anyone coming in and paying 30 million for Vanderson apart from us. And I don't see anyone coming in and paying 60 mil with 8 million add-ons for Eze. So we can get those two. Right. Toney and Gallagher. Well, Toney, Jimenez, that's gone right off the boil, hasn't it? The Jimenez, it seems to be Toney, but I'm not sure. Michael Bridges poo-pooed the fact on Sky that there was an agreement with Toney. So, well, there should be by this time. We should know whether the player wants to come or not. So we should know that. And no one's reported on that. So
if he doesn't want to come and get out of here, it's sort of like whenever we got Dragic and
it's the same with
Bayern Munich were interested.
I mean, why has there been anything said of all these even the lower tier outlets? Like, all right, a lower tier said Toney's agreed personal terms, right? Michael Bridges has poo-pooed it on Sky. All right, fair enough. You would trust Michael Bridges over the other story, but these players like a hint of what they're doing. Like Gallagher, what are you doing? Are you running down your contract? That's fair enough, but
if he does that, then he's not coming to Spurs afterwards.
Well, we should know that. Look, we'll know what it is for those two players. Let's put our recruitment team will know what's going on with those two players. They're not going to tell us, and I don't blame them. So they might let all the stories about them two carry on as a smokescreen while they're getting on with other deals.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's White or an Onana, or an Edison, in midfield, or moving to Jimenez or Torres or whatever. So actually, they're probably, if they're not interested, although if Gallagher doesn't want to come and Ange has switched, or Toney doesn't want to come, because what is conspicuous is like Arsenal and Chelsea, who need strikers, have dropped out the frame. Even West Ham was supposed to be interested, but they're not going to compete with Arsenal, Chelsea, or Spurs in the transfer market, right? Plus, the player's going to choose one of those clubs over West Ham. So, but there's nothing. That's what I'm reading between the lines. Well, Gallagher and Toney, there's nothing positive come from either of them. Which makes me think, well, I take Toney, not reluctantly, but
I get it. He's Isak. I mean, he's like kind of maybe right below that tier of striker that everybody wants, but I think he could easily.
If we get him, I expect to find a suppressed positive story come out about him, like to make you think, okay, we've done it, and we've done it for the right reasons. You've got the deal over because it's for the right reasons.
Not just because he was available and it was a last minute thing and we needed a striker.
What Ange said, didn't he? When he was questioned about top 4 finishes and all that, and they were talking about Europe, do you think it'll encourage players to come to Spurs if we're in Europe and all that? And fair play to Ange, turned around and said, well, listen, mate, he went, I want players who play for Tottenham Hotspur, want to play for Tottenham Hotspur. So he's like kicking the Europe in the trucks. Look, we're a fantastic club. We know that, right? We haven't had the greatest amount of success, but we're a fantastic club with a brilliant support base, you know. And like, do you want to play for Tottenham? Any hint of not wanting to play for Tottenham, bye, I don't want you.
Get the fuck out of here. That's what I'd say to him. Exactly.
So I'm not. Look, I would take Tony and Gallagher. They're both good players. They would both improve us. Well, Tony would get goals in the system if he couldn't. There's something wrong. And Gallagher would improve us, especially in the energy area. I mean, and up and down. I mean, even England the other day, he came on, he made an effect. You see what you get. Although the best I've seen of him has been in glimpses was when Palace beat us 3-0 when he was on loan to Palace. And I thought he was the man of the match in that game. And, he tormented us. So, no, he would improve us. Is Gallagher a sexy signing? No. Is Tony a sexy signing? He's not to me. I mean, he might be to you.
He is to me.
Maybe it's the baggage and my doubts. That's what it is. It doesn't make him a sexy signing.
Yeah, had it been last season or before any of this gambling stuff came out, I think he'd be more excited. Even as he was exiting making the move up from the Championship to the Premier League, he was exciting. He was even exciting back then. And I think anybody watching could tell he was going to succeed in the Premier League.
See, the fan base is divided on Tony, they're divided on Gallagher. They're not divided on Eze. Everyone wants Eze. You see, that's when you know a player's a bit special. And he is. Yeah. He really is real quality. Right?
Finished article. We're not waiting for him to develop. He's developed. He's at his peak, and we don't get many of those players
as well. You know?
Yeah.
And if he comes in on the left, you're starting to think, well, where's Sonny playing? Is Werner going to get game time? I mean, they will in games because we've got so many games to play now. But then you've got to see how the manager utilises his squad. I mean, 4 players will absolutely transform us.
Sure, it gives you so many more options, so many more ways to line up, and
and you get the advantage. Look, instead of a player playing with a slight knock, if Porro's got a knock, you can play Vanderson if he's in the team.
Right. Without a big drop off in quality, like you were getting.
If Eddie comes in, we've got 3 players who can play on the left, and we're not even talking about Manor Solomon, who everybody seems to think we're going to get rid of. I've not seen the kid play hardly, apart from that game at Burnley when he played really well, made 2 assists.
I think he scored 2, didn't he? I don't know. He might not have scored that game. He definitely had 2 assists.
He got hat-trick, didn't he? I think it was 2 assists. Yeah, so I haven't seen him. I haven't seen enough of him. He's a short sort of Aaron Lennon type winger.
Yeah, but he looked like he had a little bit more to his game.
And he played on the right, and he came on. He had substitute. He came on. He had cameos on the right wing for us as well. So. And
I'm saying it wasn't often Aaron Lennon got 2 assists in a game. You know what I mean? So I think that he's got more. Most of the players like him, I feel like, are pure pace merchants who just run and just. But he looks like he's got it up here too. So I'll be interested to see what he can do. It'll be fun. He'll definitely get minutes in the Europa League.
The other stories started to die down. The other day we were linked with Take Fuser Kobo, weren't we?
Oh yeah.
The Japanese
Real Sociedad or wherever he plays. He plays in Spain someplace.
I went to watch him. He's a tricky winger. He's a jinky winger, takes players on and all that. But his strike rate, I think he didn't have a bad season last year, but his strike rate for all the games he's played is about 1 in 7, which isn't good enough. But last season it wasn't 1 in 7. He did get the goals and assists, so maybe he's maturing. Because when he was 12 or 13, he got something like 70 goals in 30 odd games, and that was why he got the move to Barcelona. He's ended up in Real Madrid. He ended up in Mallorca, and now he's with Real Sociedad, right? And he's had a good season with them. So, a breakout season really. I'm sick and tired of one season wonders or breakout seasons. You don't know what you're going to get, and
Harry Kane was once called a one-season wonder, though. So
yeah,
but you do never know. For every Harry Kane, there's 4 players that don't replicate their good
there
season.
seems to be. If you look at Scott Olsen, you look at winger Ajax, you look at the other one at FC Copenhagen. I forget his name now. There are so many wingers out there that are available. It's unreal. I think there's more wingers out there than any other player. I like that Scott Olsen in Belgium. I do like him. But do you like Gibbs White? Do you like?
I do like Gibbs White. Yeah, he's a player I like a lot.
I like him as well.
Yeah. I think he's capable. I think he would be a good addition to our squad. I think all the players we're looking at, even the players that the way you put it, like aren't sexy signings, I think they improve coming into Spurs, being in a team of better players.
Yeah, he's carried that Forest side as well, so he wouldn't be cheap. And the other player at Forest, the Brazilian centre back Murillo, has had a pretty good season.
He did.
He did. Link with him. I'm not sure about Murillo. I think we go to Forest. It'll be because
I think we'll go one step higher, kind of one tier higher of a player than that. But that's just me. For our defense,
it depends if Ange is really insistent on this box-to-box number 8 type player. We've got 2 that can do it. You've got Bentancur and you've got Sarr. Bissouma, no, you don't do it, and neither does Maddison. Right, so because Bissouma struggles to get back and help defensively, but this is why, as much as I'd like Morgan Gibbs White, how's he going to play him? You've got a lot of the fan base screaming for a number 6. Well, I just think Ange would prefer 2 8s with a 10. Yeah, whether he would go for that. And then there was a tenuous link with Matt O'Reilly at Celtic.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
Plays for Denmark. With a name like Riley, I think he'd be playing for Ireland.
You would.
So I haven't seen a lot of Matt Riley. People say he's done well in Scotland. He obviously has done well in Scotland. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how old he is or anything. I haven't looked at him.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the guy other than his name. And I did think he was Irish when he said that. So
all the videos I've looked at about the media reports that have gained traction, I think, we're definitely in. I've got videos of Eze, Vanderson, Gertruda, I've got one on Tony. I'm waiting to see if it gains a bit more traction.
Before you put it out there for the world.
When we talk confirmed, there may well have been talks behind the scenes. There probably has been, actually. No, there will have been.
I assume that we've talked to the player already, yeah. And speaking of that, Ben saying, evening, everyone. One thing that worries me is that the manager says he wants to sign players with the right attitude, then wants to sign Ivan Toney, whose attitude stinks, makes absolutely no sense. First off, big up Ben.
If it's true, Ben, it wouldn't make no sense, but this is...
We don't know him. We don't know the guy. We don't know about his attitude.
We know about the baggage, which I'm not uncomfortable with, which is the gambling baggage.
Right.
There's that.
But supposedly, I don't know. You know what I mean? With gambling, at least he wasn't gambling on from what I've heard, it was just the outcome of matches, right? It wasn't his playing specifically. So I don't know. It seemed to me when I was reading about it, like it definitely could have been worse, and that a lot of players have done worse that have gotten caught gambling. That's why they get longer punishments and things like that. But anyway, I don't know. Hopefully he's over that. Stupid thing. People do stupid stuff, So yeah, like you were saying, hopefully he's gotten rid of that, or the manager thinks that he can turn them around. That they just need the right environment. That's also a possibility.
I'm confident we'll get Eze homegrown. That might be the reason we go for Toney as well, another homegrown. If we ship out, we've got a few to ship out. We know Spence will go, right? To Gino. We know Rodon's going to go because there's 3 clubs interested in Southampton, which is Leeds. There hasn't been too much on Gil on Regulon lately, but Lo Celso, Real Betis are sniffing, Lazio are sniffing.
Yeah, he'll go. There's no doubt in my mind that we're getting rid of Lo Celso this window.
Hoiberg, well, Fenerbahce are interested, but there'll be more than one club interested. There's Italian clubs interested in Hoiberg.
So, yeah, he might well go to Fenerbahce.
I would expect five of them to be gone by the time the window closes, and we might get rid of all 7. We might get rid of the 7, but 5 would do me. We'll get some money in, about 50 mil, bang that in the kitty.
Yeah, or right into his pockets.
Yeah. I think Gallagher would do that. Look, he's Chelsea.
And when he leaves on a free, he's not coming to Spurs. That's not his dream destination. We all know that. So, yeah, I agree with you guys too. He'll go someplace.
Atletico Madrid were rumored to be interested in him.
Oh, all right, Spain be a nice time.
But if Gallagher's on a free, listen, even the likes of Liverpool, Man United, and Man City would be interested. He's a good footballer to have in your squad. Yeah, he brings that energy level that you need when you're in a tight fix,
Absolutely. He's always hungry. He's always hungry to make something happen. He's always looking to move the ball forward to create something. Mm-hmm. And I like that. He's definitely not a side-to-side type player. That's for sure. Yeah. Johnny Bethler Green saying, only the media and social media say that we want Tony. No one knows what Ange wants in reality. And that's a good point. I have no idea. And big up to Johnny Bethler Green.
I think we can say he wants Eze. I think we can say he wants Eze,
That's fair. Yeah, with all that talk and everything, he must have signed off. We got Peter Kagayas in the house. Pete the paramedic saying hi, all 4 a.m. in Melbourne. Jesus, man. Jose's asking, when is the sponsored shave? It's a good question. We'll figure that out. We'll work on that. No, my wife's gonna make me do it any day. Don't worry. And then Daniel Coys is saying, fair play, even though this window is dead so far. And it is for everybody, though. Not many teams have signed players yet, so I don't think that it's just us.
Daniel, there's only 73 days to go.
Exactly. And if Daniel Levy reverts to his Daniel Levy-ness, then it might be 72 days until we get our signings.
And the thing that gets me is, right, why didn't the transfer window open when the Premier League season ended? I mean, and it opens the day that we're away to the Euros. If you're interested in an international player from Europe, let alone England, right, we lose that time between the season ending and the 14th of June when the window opens. I mean, I just there's things about I get exasperated about things like that, because that window, would be no harm if that window was open earlier. As soon as the season ended, why isn't the window open? We could have got a sign in before then. Obviously, that's if other clubs want to talk, though. That's not just always down to us. I mean, I know other clubs go bang and get a deal done early, but if we're interested in a better quality player than the deal that's been done by Bournemouth or Brighton or something quick,
it's going to take time. There's going to be more moving parts, more agent fees, more
moving parts if it's a more expensive deal. So yeah, no, we'll get the deals done. We'll get them done and we'll get players out. And this is going to be a good window. I can smell a very good window. We'll get at least 4 in, and we'll shift at least 5 out, and maybe more, maybe 7. We might get
Paratici's cooking. Paratici's cooking. I can smell it. And you're right. Maybe we do get all of them out. I hope so. Daniel saying, Colin May, I don't care about other clubs and their business. I care about my club getting their business done early. Fair dues.
Yeah.
Fair dues, man. And I think we will. I think you're going to be surprised. And then Inahype asked us if we would take a punt on Elijah Adebayo on a free from Luton, similar to Drogba. Dude, to be fair, I do not know a thing about this guy.
Is he that big lumbering centre forward they got up front? He's a nuisance because of his size. Was that the guy they're on about? I think it might be him. Yeah.
I think so. Just with the way they're describing. But
the goalkeeper's good though. The goalkeeper. He's got a name similar to another player. I forget his name. Is it Kim? What's Luton's goalkeeper? Because he had a cracking season, I thought. He was always making saves.
Kaminsky? Thomas Kaminsky.
Yeah. How old is he?
That's a good question. It looks like he is right around... hold on. Sorry. Wikipedia. I don't know. He was born in 92. So that'd make him 31. He's 31. So he's not young, but you're right, young. He's always making some saves, and he was busy. He was busy at Luton. So
and they lost. I mean, I remember watching him, and they lost some narrow games, didn't they, to Liverpool and Man United and things like that at Luton, didn't they? And he played well. I thought he's a good goalkeeper. Now I don't know if he's been like that all the time, but I thought, yeah.
Ryan says that. The Wolves are interested in him. That makes sense. And then he said those are, and then in a hype saying those are Mourinho's words. I don't want to get flamed for making the suggestion. Oh, about Adebayo. Interesting. When did Mourinho say that? It must have been in an interview or something, but that's cool. Or maybe he wanted him while he was here. I don't know. Interesting. Well, hey, I know you've got to go pretty soon, so I wanted to do a quick Keep or West Ham for you, if you're interested.
Yeah, go.
Let's do it. All right, let me get the song queued up.
I've got 50 minutes anyway, so.
Yeah. See, I wanted to get it before you had to go. Here we go, everybody.
50 minutes.
Today, everybody, we're playing Keep Which Striker, and here are your three. It is all of the players that we have been that have been linked with us the most strongly, I would say. And Adrian, since you're the guest, you must go first.
I'll take it. The one in the middle is Jimenez, yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking at.
It's pretty funny that I made this and I already can't remember the guy on the right's name. 1 sec.
I'm struggling with the pictures, to be honest with you. Probably kick myself.
Let me get the banner out of the way so I can see his Leipzig. Okay, 1 second. This is embarrassing, but it's okay. So we've got, it looks like it's Openda. Yeah, it's Openda.
From Leipzig.
Louis Openda from RB Leipzig. And he plays for Belgium as well. Look, somebody in the chat probably got it for me. Openda keeps this, Daniel.
Yeah, he's young, isn't he? Yeah.
Really good. From what I've seen of him, he's an amazing player. Only going to get better. Another calm and composed guy in front of the box. We really need that composure. Our team lacks composure, especially when we get into the final third. I really feel like we are lacking composure. And so, a very composed forward player would be nice. Daniel saying Openda keep. I've only mentioned him about 50 times in the chat. I know, man. That's why I looked him up, and he's awesome. So big up Daniel for that suggestion.
Who's the third striker?
Openda. It's
got Jimenez, Openda.
Oh, and Ivan Toney.
Oh, and Toney.
Yep.
Right, so that's Openda, is it? I don't know. See, I don't know what he looks like.
It's Ivan Toney on the left.
I haven't watched the video either, so.
See, I'm going to have to send it to you. But, Ivan Toney on the left, Openda on the right, Jimenez in the middle.
Well, because Tony's been proven, I'd bench him. And I'll take. See, even that. I mean, I haven't watched Openda. I've just heard so much about him. So this would really be unfair. I've watched him in this, though. So,
right. Yeah.
Because he's proven in the Premiership, I'm keeping Toney, benching Jimenez because I've seen him, and Openda might be the new big thing that comes on the block, but I haven't seen him. So,
I like that.
I'll send it to West Ham, right? And we can always buy him back.
There you go. Buyback clause for sure. Mr. Jose El Tel himself is saying keep Toney, bench Jimenez, and sell Openda. Dang. Yeah. Dragon These Nuts is here. I didn't say hi to you earlier, Dragon. I apologize. Very nice to have you in the house. He says keep Toney, bench Openda, and get rid of Jimenez. That's kind of where I'm at too. But then Brian Maguire comes in to rain on everyone's parade, and you said this earlier, Adrian, but he's heard that Spurs agreeing personal terms with Tony is false news. That was on Sky last night.
Yeah, Michael Bridges poo-pooed it.
Yeah. Brian Maguire, big up. Glad to have you here, buddy. I'm on the same page. I would keep Tony, bench Openda, and then sell Jimenez. I think Openda could eventually take the starting spot. But, I want him on the bench at first just because I don't want to dump him into a new league and expect him to produce. But, I really think that Ivan Toney could do it. I really think that Ivan Toney could be the guy for Spurs. And like I said, I've thought that since he came up, since they came up from the championship. And he's just looked class. He's looked class. And also, like you said, what we ask strikers to do isn't a lot. I think he would be awesome. He actually has a bit of hold-up play to him. Not Kane-level hold-up play, but he's got some hold-up play. Get other people involved. And then also, he's just a lethal finisher in front of goal,
I don't think any of them press, though, do they?
No, not particularly. That's a good point. Openda probably the most from what I've seen.
See, this is the other thing about Toney. I mean...
Yeah, is he like a luxury player? Does he just kind of... Yeah, is he going to contribute
to
the press?
It wouldn't surprise me if we didn't go for Toney or Gallagher. It wouldn't surprise. The recruitment team must know if they're interested by now. It's just that we don't know, and they've not told us. So they'll leave it as a smokescreen. Let the press prattle on like they always do, keep guessing, speculate, and make their stories while we go for the targets that Ange wants, unless he wants one. But he's always liked Gallagher, but I just don't see Gallagher going anywhere. Anyway. So, and Toney, I'm not sure about him, whether Ange wants him or not. We don't know. And
we'll never know until he either puts this, holds up the Spurs shirt or not. If he does that, I guess we'll know. But
I'm pretty sure about Eze, and I'm growing really on the Vanderson story. If Emerson's going, we're not going to bring a two.
Vanderson is definitely an upgrade.
Right,
he's definitely an upgrade.
Unless we went quite left field and brought in Archie Gray to play on the left, on the right.
That would be fucking amazing. Oh my God, don't get me excited. That would be phenomenal.
A bit early for Archie Gray, I think.
I want that so bad though. That would be amazing. Give them. They supposedly want Skip. They can have Skip and Rodon if they just give us Archie Gray.
And like Vanderson, if you went to Robinson, he's right back for Fulham, isn't he?
Christ, I don't know. I don't know at all.
He's American as well. You should know. I think he's.
Shit. Yeah.
Look him up. I'm sure he's right back for him.
Said his name is Robinson. Yeah, Anthony Robinson. He is a left back. Actually. Left back. Yeah.
Actually, we could still get him. But with Fulham, all the players are like 50 mil plus, no matter what. Yeah, they'll probably want to buy Højbjerg for like 15 mil.
Right. Yep, that's how it goes.
Pauline is gone. They'll come in for Højbjerg. But
that's true. That wouldn't be a bad replacement. I mean, you could definitely do worse.
Yeah. Would he want to go and play for them? I don't know.
Perhaps. In a hype saying, keep Openda, bench Jimenez, and send Toney on loan to William Hill.
He's got more chance of winning a trophy with Fenerbahce than he has with Fulham.
In a hype saying that Tony's near. In a hype's always got his ear to the ground. So if he's saying it, he must know something.
Well, if it is, I won't be doing cartwheels over it. I'll be excited over Eze though, and like I say, I like.
Oh, he's at Toney near the end of the window. If it happens, and if it happens like that, that'll make me think that he was a backup option, which is never good. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Because unless Paratici weaves his magic, and Italy's like. It's famed for its defenders. There must be loads of right backs and left backs we could look at, apart from Vanderson at Monaco. I mean, I like that Geertruida at Feyenoord, as I said, but I think he's going to be in the 50 mil bracket, right? And
a little bit maybe outside of the shelf we're shopping on.
Well, and he might not be what Ange wants. He can play right back, number 6, right midfield, but he's not going to get in our midfield, is he? Let's be fair. No chance.
No, but it would be nice to have him as cover just in case shit hits the fan and we need him.
So you get Vanderson, and then, like I talked about, as soon as you bring a player in, you open up loads of permutations. We were talking about the left, if Eze comes in, left midfield, left wing. do you some games move Son in the middle? Do you play Son on the right because he's played on the right and scored goals in the past? Sonny,
he's so two-footed, it almost doesn't matter.
Louise, he did it Leicester away when he curled one in the corner near to half time in one game. He scored lots of goals on the right, so you could do that. I mean, and then if Anderson comes in, you got the option of playing Porro right side midfield if you needed to, because everybody says, "Oh, have him play as a winger instead of." He's not a winger. He hasn't got that. He hasn't got the jinkiness of a jinky type winger, and he hasn't got that
pace and directness of
he's technically very good, Porro. Though he's technically very good, but he hasn't got that. He hasn't got that winger look. He doesn't look a winger. I mean, a duck quacks like a duck, but he doesn't. He's not.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not quacking. I get it.
No, he's not quacking, and I just think I've said it for quite a while. I see him. Why go for a Conor Gallagher when you could play Pedro Porro in that role and save the money, right? And I think Pedro Porro's technically better than Conor Gallagher, right? Plus,
does he have that same tenacity? Does he have that same bite that Conor Gallagher has?
No, I don't think he's as aggressive.
We need aggression at Spurs.
Yeah,
that's part of why I want Tony. Tony's got this I gotta win aggression, and you know what I mean. And I guess I can say that same Richarlison's got that same aspect to his game. But I just think Tony's a better player, or at least from what he's shown, is the better player of the two. But still, yeah, I want that attitude. I want that hunger. I want that willingness to put your body on the line. Let me get rid of this. Sorry, but hey, so we were asked a second ago by my boy Brian if there was any transfer rumors apart from the Tony rumor. We talked about a few of them. You were talking about Vanderson, the Monaco right back. So that's one that we've been heavily linked with Brian. Don't know if you've heard about that. What other ones have you heard that have been kind of more left field? Today, Ferran Torres. I saw a report that
there was a left field on Samuel Elling Jr. There was a left field recently on the two Doué brothers in France. One's younger, one's older. One's a right back, one's a winger or something. It was really rated. I mean, you don't hear and it just seems to be Tony with hints of Gibbs White, but Gibbs White isn't a box-to-box number 8, and this is what gets me. I don't know if Ange.
Where do you think Gibbs White's best position is then? Is more of a 10 or a 6? Where do you see Gibbs White?
I see him more as a sort of playmaker, 8, crossbred 6, really. Hybrid 6. He's not a 10, and for Forest, most of them go for him, and he does the sort of the Ward-Prowse job. But I think he's a better player than Ward-Prowse personally. Yeah, I mean, you only hear about Ward-Prowse.
Ward-Prowse's dead ball game might be better, but all around it.
Yeah, but this is the thing, isn't it? When he was at Southampton, the only time you heard about Ward-Prowse was when he scored a free kick around the wall. You didn't hear much about him elsewhere.
How he controlled the match and dictated tempo.
I mean, so I didn't want him. I know when a lot of Spurs fans did want him, I didn't want him because I thought I want a player who gives you more.
Yeah, offer him more. Have a more well-rounded game. I absolutely agree with that. And where did he end up? Fucking West Ham, right? He ended up at West Ham.
I mean, we'd all take Gibbs White. We'd all take Eze. We'd all take Archie Gray, even if he's for the future, because he looks that good. There's a couple of youngsters out there that are good, but we've got enough good youngsters, And we got Lucas Bergvall coming into midfield, haven't we? So, he can play 6.
I did.
Wide right, number 10. I mean,
Can I tell you something, though? I watched an entire match of Bergvall, and granted, please take this into consideration, but this was his last match with his current club, or his previous club, I guess. And it was his last match, and he was not good at all. But also, I've heard that, he's getting fouled a lot more in that league since they know that he's, got this big move. Players are kind of going for him, and
he's also
probably didn't want to get an injury.
Last game before his move, where's his head? Yeah. I mean, I'd be the same. Big move. I don't want to break my leg before I go down there or do an Achilles, like, you know. I mean, I don't blame a player if it's his last game in a league. And
true. And so I need to see more. I have a bigger sample size. I was hoping that would give me some insight into him as a player. But
got loads of clips.
He's good.
He's got touches of a hodl about him, and like, you know, if he turned out to be half as good as Glenn, that would be fantastic for us. No,
yeah, I'm gonna watch a video on my other screen while we're talking here.
Watch all the clips. Go and get as many clips of Bergvall as you can. The way he slips the balls, forward passing, and all that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry. No, what were you saying?
I think he lacks a long ball range, so he'll never be a hodder in that sense. Like, put a 30-yard ball in a sixpence. Like, he won't. He's not that, but he's very much a modern day player. And he's like,
I like how often he gets his head to the ball. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
Well, he's 6'2". He's no slouch. They put these Scandinavian kids in grow bags when they're young. I swear they do, like, you know, because they all end up 6 foot.
Yeah, there's got to be something in the food, in the water. Daniel though is saying, Colin, what did I say about Bergvall, mate? Fans overhyping this guy before he even steps foot in this country. I said this for months, and people shoot me down. I don't know. Maybe you're right. We'll have to wait and see.
No, Daniel may well be right. I mean, like, but why do people overhype players? The reason you overhype a player, if you did it on Mikey Moore, Donley, you know, Lancashire, 23 goals in 22 games. If you overhype players, that's a good sign because, all right, you may be overhyping them. They've still got to grow and progress, but it shows that you've seen a lot of good things from that player. That's why you've overhyped them. So the hype might be overhyped, you know.
But it's for a reason.
Seen a lot. I mean, he's got a very good skill set. You know, I mean, like, he's got a very good skill set. Chips in the goals, good through ball. You know,
yeah,
he can lose a player like with a
his close control's good, so he can kind of a little faint one way, go the other way. Yeah, I mean, he's looking good in these clips. Obviously, clips make anybody look good, but I'm liking what I'm seeing a lot. So, yeah. So, Daniel, you might 100% be right. We will have to wait and see. In a hype saying that we'd probably only want Tony on a cut price deal. And then he says 10. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine getting Tony for 10? That's never going to happen. That would be cool, though.
I think the lowest you'd get Tony for is probably about 45. I know he's in the last year of his contract, but it's a question if teams want a striker that last year. You could still get involved in a little bit of a bidding war, you see, which our club will not get involved in anyway. We won't do it. So then, you know, if the player pushes for a move, we don't know how far negotiations are. Like Michael Bridges has poo-pooed it all. But with the same agency as some of our players, the talks would have gone on, right? And it might be like, you got to keep this shut. You know what I mean? While this is going on, like, so normally, and because they're the same agency as our players, they ain't mouthed off. You know, like when you get I've got Ellie ringing me.
Queen Ellie.
I need the link because I haven't got my laptop.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Hold on 1 second.
Ian Meth needs it.
I'm doing that. So I didn't mute you for any reason, Adrian, other than I didn't know if Ellie wanted to be live, if she wanted to. So hold on, let me check back and see if she's still there.
Right. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I just muted you just in case Ellie didn't want to be heard. But now you're back. So
yeah, so I'm all right. I mean, we've got half hour, so like I'm fine.
Awesome. Hey, thanks again for hanging. I do appreciate that. Daniel's saying Bergvall playing against some scrubs in the Swedish league is not a big enough sample size. I'm sorry. And you're right. We'll have to see. I'm excited for preseason, man, because we'll see him then. El Tel saying, let's just buy all 728 players that we've been linked with. Supposedly, Spurs have the money. We've got a lot of money, Jose, man. Is it enough to buy 728 players?
Only 728.
Daniel Levy is pretty good with money from what I've heard, so we should have a lot of cheddar. And then, what up? You're here a lot. They're saying Solomon. We want to see more Solomon. I can at least say that I do. Adrian, you'd probably like to see more of that fella, right?
Yeah, I would actually, because like everyone's saying, get rid. When players are out of sight for a long period of time, people just think get rid of him, but we don't know if he's any good.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, in fact, the one game we've seen of him, he was very good. So, it's a tough one to say. I like the guy. I like his build. I like what he looks like he's going to offer, which is pace, directness, and also surprise, like a good pass. Those things don't always, or even usually, go together. So the fact that he looks like he can distribute as well as, do a lot offensively is cool. I like it. So what have we got here? Oh, Inahype mentioned, and everyone should watch out. Nuno Mendes playing tonight for Portugal, proper offensive left back, who I have heard us linked with. So that'll be a good one to watch. Everyone check that out if you'd like. Big up to Inahype. He said really aggressive winger and left back rolled into one. Damn. Talk about competition for you, doggy, right there. That's awesome. Super awesome. And you guys talking about competition for you, doggy, you all know, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday on Jose's channel, that whenever Van de Ven came and made his little appearance for the national team, he played as a left back and replaced Nathan Ake, who was playing left back. Do you think that we'll see more of him at left back? Do you think that's the plan? Do you think that's why we've been linked with more center backs? Is because he might, be our auxiliary left back if needed?
No, I think the reason we're going for a right back is because Emerson's going, and I think at the moment Davies will see out his last season as cover at left back and cover for left centre back, because we can't fill all the holes. We're not going to go and get 7 or 8 players. So I think that'll be the cover. And you've always got Van de Ven as well, haven't you, as the emergency option. So because then Dragusin can come in. So I think now, actually, Dragusin's got more chance of playing if something happens to you, doggy, suspensions, light knock or whatever. I think because VDV he tried Emerson over on the left, it didn't work. It was never going to work. Right, but he gave it a go. He thought, well, I'll give it a go. Emerson is very athletic, if anything else. He is a good defender, just doesn't suit the system. Right, so I think, I don't think we're looking to fix. If we do get Calafiori and he's left-footed, right, if we could get him in, right, tempting away with more money than we can pay him more wages than they get paid in Italy. If we get Calafiori in from Bologna.
Yep, that's correct. I'm pretty sure that's where he is.
Yeah.
I don't want to say 100% and be wrong, but yeah.
He's a bowler centre back as well, and he's left-footed, which is what you want. You don't want a right footer there. I mean, when people talk about same with England the other day, right? You got Trippier.
Yeah.
You can play there, right? But you're attacking as a team, not an inverted fullback. So when Trippier gets forward on the right, when he's playing on his best side, he's going to try and get an overload with like the winger on the right, whether it's Saka, right, and they're going to interchange like Porro and Decky do at times, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem with England on the left, we're not having a left back, and they need Shaw fit, even a half-fit Shaw. It's when Trippier gets down there, because he's right-footed, he wants to cut inside rather than go down to the corner or interchange with Foden. So not having a left-footed left back there, I think, affected Foden's game. But it's just my opinion, because then Foden would have been out interchange with Shaw if Shaw was on there, because Shaw would try to get to the byline, or they could interchange there. And we were disjointed on that side of the field. And Trent was crap as well, with Pence as well, which didn't help, right? But I'm not saying they're bad players. I mean, I say his Pence, he's a very good player. But I'm talking about on the night, so it didn't work, did it? And the same thing I noticed when we lost our first game at the stadium, right? We played West Ham, and West Ham had a habit. They did the same to Arsenal in their first game in the new stadium. They did the same, right? Antonio scored. We had Toby Alderweireld at left centre back because Jan was injured, right? And Tony's come across him and put the ball in the corner, right? Yep. And I couldn't help thinking that if you had a left-footed centre back there, Now, it might be desperation or me clutching at straws because I was talking to a mate at the bar afterwards. I said, I couldn't help thinking if we had a left foot, we'd have had a better chance of stopping that goal, stopping it completely. Well, what do you mean? I said, well, your body shape. I'm right-footed. I'll lead with my right foot. Now, you've got Toby leading with his right foot against the striker coming in. Now, a left-footed centre-back might have done better in that situation. I'm not saying they would have, but this is why I like a balance. I mean, a lot of times it works when you've got two right-footed centre-backs because there aren't that many left-footed centre-backs out there anyway. So it has to work.
They're rare and expensive.
But I want, I want a left-back at left-back or a left inverted back or a left wing-back or on the left, and I want a left-footed centre-back. That's why I would like Calafiori. He's left-footed. Or we won't go, be too daring, you go for Incapi, right?
Calafiori is insane. If we can get Calafiori, I think we snap that up right away. That's somebody you don't say no to.
I think Leverkusen have sold Jonathan Tah to Bayern Munich or something. I'm not sure. I think he's moved on. So now they've got. I think they've got Incapi and Tapsoba now.
Of course, he went to Bayern Munich though. It kind of pisses me off. Bayern are able to do in that league. How they're able to just suck up all the best talent from all the other teams every fucking year. But I get it, except for this last year when they didn't win shit. That's hilarious. That's so funny to me. I know that's probably me being a terrible person, but isn't it kind of funny that Kane goes there for like guaranteed trophies, but then doesn't win a trophy? It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Yeah. But anyway, he doesn't play here for us anymore. We'll not talk about him. Dry Roast Peanut saying that he likes Murillo from Forest.
Forest, the Brazilian centre-back. I haven't checked up on him. He's had a very good season, they said, but they got, But,
Ryan Summey, I need to chill. He says you can't blame Bayern. These clubs are agreed to sell them, and that's 100% a fact. I just think it's because, though, that I don't know. Am I jealous? Is it jealousy? Am I a hater? Very possibly. Very, very possibly. But big up, Ryan. Always good to have you. You are a member, Ryan. You can come on the show and have your say if you would like. The link is on the YouTube page. And I also just stuck it on the YouTube page for anybody that might want to join. If you feel like that, please come hang out. It would be nice to have you. So what were we? You have to go. Adrian, it's probably about time for you to go. Do you need to go get stuff ready? Yeah. All right, buddy. All right.
I'll post the link. If you want to come on a show, guys, you're in the chat. I mean, we're going live in 23 minutes.
I might come and bother you guys.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Should bring everybody over there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, let me.
Right. Cheers, right. Cheers, guys. Cheers to you in the chat. Big up to you all. Have a good night. Right. If you come over, you're more than welcome to come over.
Guys, like this.
It's 8 o'clock. Yeah.
So 23 minutes, guys. Set your clocks. We're gonna all move over to Adrian's.
Invite, Colin. Right. Thanks for the invite.
Thanks for having me. I'd love to be on your channel soon. Maybe tonight.
We'll sort that out. Yeah, we'll sort that out. Okay. We'll see what Ellie's hosting tonight. We'll see what's going on. All right.
Yep. Oh no, I'm too big. Too big. There we go. I like that a little better. But guys, it is just me and you. Ryan G subbed to Adrian. Yeah. Look, did you see how many subs he's on? He's killing it. Adrian has absolutely blown it up. Big up to Adrian. And yeah, Spurs, Tottenham till I die. Diehards. Hold on, the link's right here. Spurs, Diehards, Tottenham till I die. That's them, guys. And definitely check them out. Starts in 23 minutes. Whoa, Chris Agambar's in the house. Big up, Chris. Good to have you, buddy. Always good to have you. And again, I'll ask everybody here. First of all, jump on and have your say if you'd like. The link is, I'll just put the link in here. Screw it. Honestly, if you come in, don't show your butthole. Don't be gross. There's the link, everybody, for anybody that needs it. Boom, blow. We're not going for much longer because I don't want to go over Adrian's show. So if you'd like to come on for 20 minutes or so, it'd be really nice to have you. And I also wanted to ask everyone, obviously you've been putting them in the chat already, but transfer ideas. We've talked about the links that we've seen today, Ferran Torres, obviously more stuff about, the likes of Ivan Toney, Conor Gallagher. What are some transfer ideas that you have? We don't even have to have been linked with them formally, but just players that you are interested in and that you think would be good additions to this Tottenham Hotspur squad. Let me know. And man, Vanderson is a player who I still think is going to end up costing like 40. I don't think we're going to spend the money on him, but I would like Vanderson at Spurs. I absolutely would love me some Vanderson at Spurs. But who knows? We're going to need to replace Emerson, and so one of these names we're hearing is going to come in. And there's only, I think they're talking about getting $20 million out of Emerson. $20 million out of Emerson. Okay, yeah, if you want to pay me that, that's fine. I feel like I'm robbing you, but you can definitely pay me that much money. That would go a long way towards one of these new players we're looking at. Even if they did cost 40, you're only looking at shelling out 15 mil. Dragging these nuts, coming in clutch with a recommendation. He says Dusan Vlahovic would be his choice to come in. I think that's a swell idea. Stellar. We were all about him for a while there when Kane was about to leave, and or thought anyway, he was touted to be the Kane replacement there for a bit. The player that could do what Kane does, hold up the ball. He clearly doesn't have the passing range that Kane has, but what striker does, to be completely honest? Like, do other strikers even have that in their repertoire? No, I don't think so. Kane's just a freak of nature. But yeah, Vlahovic was seen as the guy. He could play with his back to goal, get other players involved. He could score, from ridiculous angles. His finishing was top notch. Then he went to Juve, and as I recall, didn't do super well. And then I think last season had a good season. But anyway, yeah, would love to have him. Dry Roast Peanuts come in with something cool. I like this, Dry Roast, and I agree. Dry Roast Peanuts saying he likes the signings that he's never heard of, but have been scouted well, like Vicario and Van de Ven. Super good point, man. I said actually when we got Postecoglou, because I figured that he had connects in parts of the country that we don't usually work with, namely like Asia, I guess. But we've got the Italian market kind of cornered with Paratici. But yeah, I was wondering, and I asked people. I posed the question: would you be mad if none of the signings that came in were people that you had heard of? They were all very under the radar type signings, but they had been scouted. If they were in Postecoglou's little black book, so to speak. How would you feel about it? And everyone was really cool and said, they're going to back him. That was back when we were first in the league and everything was going great. And I do notice that people's faith in him has kind of fallen since, our league places fell and everyone thought, he was making poor decisions and whatnot. But, yeah, man, anybody the manager wants is so cliche, but I want him too. And I'm excited to see what they can pull out. Darius is also saying he's looking forward to us confirming our intentions on a striker so I can watch multiple YouTube compilations of him. Just watch Ivan Toney ones, bro. I swear, Ivan Toney's coming, especially at that 50 million price that's being touted. Bite their hand off. You're not going to get a top striker for that, and I don't care. Maybe this will be controversial, but I think that he's a top striker. I really do. I feel like Ivan Toney is in that top tier of strikers. Ryan G saying, I prefer Openda, but judging by the bench sell Spurs fans aren't big on him. Hey, it's because people don't know him. Ryan, I've watched one compilation, and I love the guy. Love him. But I think that Ivan Toney's more realistic, and I think it's going to happen. I really do. Gyros is saying, yeah, Openda is elite. Yeah, like I said, I would love to have him. I don't know how likely it is he ends up here. I'm surprised you don't hear more about him going to the super clubs. The compilation I watched said something like "Welcome to Liverpool," so I guess Liverpool are also interested in Openda. Would make sense. I just don't think Ange is going to love Tony's personality. Oh no, me neither. Unless, the dude's cocky, yeah, and that's fine. To be a professional athlete, I feel like you have to be cocky. If you're not cocky, I don't think you're gonna. You've got to believe in yourself at a level that is like outside of the realm of my understanding. You got to believe in yourself that much and what you can do. And if not, you're not going to make it. And so, yeah, he's cocky. Did he have a gambling problem? Sure. Or whatever? Sure. Does he feel like he needs to be in a better team than the team he's currently in? Yeah. Has he made that clear? Yeah. Was that kind of douchey? Yeah. But all of these things I don't feel like spell out that he's got a terrible personality or a bad person. And I think once he's here, he would be a lot happier. And I think having a manager like Ange that doesn't take shit, that if you have an attitude like that, you'll sit on the bench where Charleston will play. I don't think it'll be that bad. But Ryan G is agreeing with Gyros that he thinks the personality is going to be too much, and that Ange will not deal. I don't know, guys. It's tough for me to answer. A bit disrespectful to Brentford publicly, saying that he wants to move to a bigger club. Yeah, and how would Spurs fans say if he was here and he said, "Hey, I want to move to Madrid"? I'm here right now as a stepping stone, but my dream is to move to Madrid. Except we've had players say things like that. He seemed like a cool guy when I watched him with Declan Rice. I haven't seen that, but Steve Ryan says he seems cool, and I agree. You know who else I thought was a huge, colossal dickhead, and actually used to be? One James Madison. He once verbally assaulted a cab driver for not knowing who he was, and he's the guy that used to make big deals outside of nightclubs when they wouldn't let him in. He'd be like, "I'm a Premier League footballer. How do you?" And I don't know. Just it's like, bro, that might even been before he went to Norwich, but it's like, bro, he played for Norwich City. Like, chill out. So, I think that he's a good. He could probably be a good dude. I don't know enough about him to say he is or he isn't. Ryan G saying he agrees with Penn is elite. I got you, brother. I got you. Ryan G though saying Tony seems like a cool guy. He was on with Declan Rice earlier. They're very close friends. Declan Rice basically said he was his best mate in the England squad. Well, hey, there you go. Does that mean he's going to Arsenal? Does that mean he's going to Arsenal though? Thank God we have James Madison. Exactly. I can hear that in my head perfectly right now. But yeah, I agree. And hopefully we get Tony as well. I think we might have the same people in the chat, but no one really gave me their answer. Only Adrian did. If this is what we ended up with, just yes or no, would you be happy as a Tony and Gallagher? And I guess throw me at this. I want to throw it right back in there too. But I'm going to throw a stinky one in there. All right, so there's kind of a bombshell in here. Eze, Tony, and Gallagher, and KWP. Kyle Walker-Peters coming home to extend, to make right what went wrong with his career at Spurs. Ryan G, Arsenal move still on? Exactly. Who knows? Newcastle get 9% of the transfer fee for Tony, so currently are trying to hype up his price to $65 million. Jesus Christ. Come on, Newcastle. I thought you had that oil money, bruh. Did you see my question 5 minutes ago? Oh, let me get that back. I'll get that up in a second. You're asking about a player from you guys, right? I definitely will get that up. Dryos Peanuts, though, saying, yeah, he would take that for sure. Hell yeah, dude. Me as well. And he would rate it a 7.6 out of 10. Whoa, Chris Peters says, good evening. Good evening to you, Chris Peters. What is up, man? This is the member show, so if you would like to join, feel free. I'm only going for 13 more minutes max because Adrian's channel has a show coming up. And I want everybody to head over there. Dragon said, swap Gallagher for Calafiore. Man, Calafiore is absolutely bonkers. He is such a good player. If we got him, I would be over the moon. Audio, though, coming in. I love you, man, because you keep it real. It says Eze, Tony, Gallagher, and KWP. He doesn't think it's enough for a title challenge. I would agree there. I think it was always going to take more than 2 transfer windows to get us where we needed to be. And I do think we would be an improved squad at that point. I think it's safe to say KWP is an improvement over Emerson. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's pretty well documented. And so with that said, so we'd have KWP, so we'd be improving there. Eze obviously starts at a couple of positions in our team, I feel like. But so we'll have him as a starter. Tony obviously will get in over for Charlison. Gallagher is the only player I don't know if he starts, but he definitely pushes some of our starters. Saar, Bentancur. Gyros Peanut, I love you, man. He's saying you got some nice tricks for us on those beards. So I do. I actually do have a trick. First, you got to wear a ball cap every day for your whole life. And I don't even want to show you guys. It's too gross. But then you go bald. And when you go bald, how it happens with the hair all just kind of migrates down your face and ends up here. So I don't have any here, but I have here. And I actually trimmed it up the other day, which is ridiculous to say, but this is the trimmed version. I had to go to a wedding. And yeah, I couldn't look like a complete hobo, but partial hobo, I think I get away with it. I did. I was an usher. It was a lot of fun. I got to tell people where to sit. Big deal. Tough gig. Tough gig. Oh, skateboards. Man, I broke my collarbone really, really bad skateboarding. So they're mostly decoration now. Like I'll get out and roll around, but the days of me doing tricks are sadly over. But yeah, man, you have beard tricks now too. I see you wanted board tricks. You got beard tricks too. That was kind of a 2-for-1. But yeah, my trick repertoire wasn't big to begin with. But you know, kickflip, heel flip, could never do an impossible. I don't know, just like the simple stuff. And I also like to roll around a lot. And a hype is answering the question from Ryan. He says, "Oh yes, Pedro Lima. I just got a whole YouTube video a while back, but I haven't seen him live. Man, so it looks like Wolves are already getting things done. That's awesome. Big up, Ryan. I don't know, man. So we're getting to the end. How's everybody feeling today? It's Tuesday for y'all, second Saturday for me. Going to watch a baseball game later. My town's baseball team, they're good this year, and gotta go watch them while they're good, right? So we're going to a baseball game later. Probably won't watch the whole thing because baseball kind of sucks. Have a beer too, skedaddle, and I'm thinking about having a fire out back, just for fun. But what's everyone else got going on? Who do I want to see coming in? Great question. You already know I'm sold on Tony, but it's not just because we're interested in him now. Like I've wanted him at the club. If you go back and watch Hotspur Hood, I don't know if they've deleted all these videos. Back when it was Tommy's channel, we talked about Tony a ton, and so yeah, back when Hotspur Hood belonged to Tommy before it now belongs to Dan E. We talked a lot about Ivan Tony. El Telsay, don't forget my thumbnail. I won't, buddy. I got you, buddy. But yeah, who do I want to see coming in? I mean, Tony for sure. We need. Calafiore is a fucking G, and so if we can get Tony, Calafiore, and Eze, I'd be over the moon. We still need a right back, but I think I would. If we got those other three, I might suck it up and take Emerson until January and try to grab a right back then. I know that's wild because Emerson is such a liability. But I would just pray that Pedro Porro is fit to play and we don't have to play Emerson because Calafiore, potential starter. I mean, like that's how good he is. I think he could push Van de Ven for that starting spot. So Calafiore for sure. Tony, I think, is the best striker that we're going to be able to nab. I would much prefer Alexander Isak, for example, but I don't think that's ever. And I mean, not that I don't think. I know that's never going to happen. So yeah, those are who I want. And a hype says he'd get behind those signings. Hell yeah, and a hype. We're G's, we're bros. I knew it. I could tell. But yeah, do I see that happening? Not exactly. I don't see Calafiore coming in. I see a much cheaper option than Calafiore coming in. Not sure who yet, but a much less expensive signing. Probably still very good. I'm sure we'll have scouted them really well. I do think Tony's going to come in. I think Eze's coming in. And that leaves right back, which could be anybody. No clue. But I do like Vanderson as well. But the dude that he just had me watch, hold on, who was it? I'll go back. Oh, never mind. Can't find it. But the other guy, Adrian, had me watch. Looked good too. Could very tricky with his feet. Looks like he could play in the midfield, which is what we essentially need with these inverted fullbacks. Audio artists. I remember those days when me and Tommy and Mara used to stream together. Yeah, dude, those were the days. Those were the good old days, man. Yeah, miss all those guys. I need to hit up Tommy and Mari and make sure they're good. Audio Artisan though, you seriously been here since Jump Street. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me, man. It means a lot. But guys, we're 6 minutes away. Matthew asked if I'm watching the Euros. So I watched most of the Turkey-Georgia match today, and I'm going to watch as much as I can, like from here on out. Doesn't a match start in like 2 minutes? I think the match starts out at 8, right? Championships. Yeah, so in just a couple minutes, the Portugal game starts. So I'm going to watch that as well. So yeah, Matthew, trying. So with the way that it plays out in my work schedule, I'm almost always working, but I have multiple monitors, and so I can just throw it up on one and watch it, and it works out pretty well. I got hooked after the cat rap. LOL. Should I put the link for the cat rap in here for everybody who hasn't seen it? Because there's a good chance a lot of people here haven't seen it. It's kind of buried. Let me find it. That's amazing, though. You're an amazing person. How'd you find the cat rap, bro? No, so you came here for Spurs, then you found the cat rap. Okay. Yeah, I'll post that link, man. If everybody is, wants a cat rap in their life. Let's see what we got here. Copy the link. Oh man, this is embarrassing. So I made this during COVID. It was during, that in the US at least we had a 2-week lockdown. 2-week lockdown is what we were going to have, which turned into fucking 2 years or whatever. But about a week and a half in, I was going nuts, and I needed to do something creative or funny, or I was going to lose my mind. And so I made this cat rap, and the link is now in the chat. The chorus is something like, "I'll end your life just like that because you don't like cats." I don't know. It's pretty cool. Murderous. It's violent. I think there's curse words in it. So be ready for that. Don't play it around your children, even though it is a rap about cats. It's violent and profane. Everyone, let me know what you think. Slap a like on that video. It still make me feel good, even today. Get that dopamine from those likes, baby. 4 minutes away from Adrian's show. Everybody, hey, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for being members. To everybody who's members, I saw lots of member things like people's names. So I wanted to thank all of you guys. And I also need to put up a link real quick for my boy Eltel. And then I'll put a TTID one in there to end it off. But guys, there is Eltel. If you could please go and sub to him. He's my favorite mofo around. And then Diehards, TTID. Damn it, didn't work. YouTube. Boom. Found the channel. Here we go, baby. Babies. Here we go, babies. All right, I'm going to get this in there for you. And then, yeah, in the chat there is Adrian's channel where he starts in 3 minutes. If you guys do listen to the cat rap, please let me know what you think. Should I continue my rap career or should I chase the dream? Should I be the next best white rapper after Lil Peep or whoever? I don't know. Lil Xan. But there is a link for the cat rap, everybody. Should I make a music video for it? There's so many questions to ask. But again, guys, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody. I hope you like the new intro for today. And I'm going to play the new intro as the outro, even though it's an intro, because I want everyone to get to see it. So, guys, here it comes. That link down there is for the cat rap. And then there's also a link for Jose's channel and a link that I'm going to put up right now for Spurs Diehards. Go there after here. But watch this intro again and let me know what you think. Big love, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks for everything. As always, I'm Colin. This is Talking Ball. You're great. Be good to yourself. Be good to those around you. Have a lovely mother day.